It's 8:21 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's talk to our good friend, Dr. Jeffrey Lowell, professor of surgery and pediatrics at Washington University. Good morning, Dr. Jeffrey Lowell.
Hey, McGraw. Hey, Kelly.
Hi.
You are joining us via Skype through your telephonic Skype connection. Let's get right to it. California passes a vaccine law with virtually no exemptions. That's interesting.
No exemptions. They're joining Mississippi and West Virginia as the only other two states with such requirements in place. Strictest school vaccination laws in the country. No more personal exemptions. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Big deal. This is likely in direct response to the measles outbreak there at Disneyland that had almost 150 people that were sickened with measles and spread across the country and into Mexico.
What I find interesting about all of this is, what's the doctor's role in all of this, or the pediatrician? Does the pediatrician, placate the mother or the father with the questions, or do they give them tough love? And I mean, how are the doctors handling these parents who don't want the vaccines?
Well, I don't know, but I would imagine there's a pretty big range of it from doctors who have 50 kids that they have to see in their office before lunch, and they just want to get people through and say, okay, whatever, to the doctor who says, no, this is really wrong, and spends the time and talks about how science is unequivocal and vaccines are safe and vaccines save lives, and not only your child's life, but potentially other children who are going to school or daycare with your children, and how it's a critically important public health measure. So there's probably a pretty big range. I would hope there's more of the latter than the former, but there's, all kinds.
All right.
It's like there's all kinds of politicians, some that answer questions and some that don't.
Fair enough. What's the story about Amazon and Google wanting to get our DNA into the cloud?
Big businesses. These guys are, besides, they're into data, and whether it's to sell you, shoes or gizmos, or to sell you ads when you're doing searches, they're into data, and they're very, very good at it. So they are both interested in data storage, and one area in healthcare, which is going to require lots of data storage, is keeping track of everyone's individual DNAs. And there's a lot of data because we have a lot of genes in our DNA, and those are big businesses to save those. And why people would care is that likely the market for getting designer DNA treatments of things will grow very quickly over the next decade or so. So if you have a particular kind of cancer, we'll be able to hopefully one day target that cancer, not with a big shotgun saying, okay, you've got a colon cancer or breast cancer, this is how we treat it. We'll be able to be very specific and say, these are the genes that your cancer has, and we'll be able to target medicines directly at that, or other types of diseases like lupus or diabetes or things like this.
At some point, I can't figure out why all of my medical records can't be in the cloud, and whether I go to a dentist, orthodontics, a foot doctor, an eye doctor, that they can't just pull my records off of my file and just use it that way.
They should, absolutely, they should. But we're kind of stuck in 1970s in terms of a lot of our healthcare technology, because there hasn't been a standard that everyone has adopted, and it's very parochial. And so you can't just use any web browser to open up these kind of data. It's not stored on the web. It's stored on individual databases. Now there's potential downsides too in terms of protecting security and things like that, because hackers are pretty good at getting into even very sophisticated databases. But I totally agree that there should be just like in most first world countries, there's a single record that has all of your records, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah, interesting. All right. And then while we still have you, Dr. Bradley Freeman, not Dr. Bradley Freeman, Dr. Jeffrey Lowell.
He's the good one.
So, all right. Sugary drinks leads to deaths. How many deaths do sugary drinks cause each year in America?
Well, this is sort of a pseudoscience kind of extrapolated number. The number in one study came out of Tufts this week, quoted almost a couple 100,000. But the point is, sugary drinks have no nutritional value. While they taste good, they have no nutritional value and lead to obesity. And obesity, as we've talked about quite a few times, leads to all kinds of horrible problems like diabetes and heart disease and stroke and back problems and things that gobble up the majority of our healthcare dollars and lead to deaths. And so the point that these investigators are trying to make is we should get rid of them. They don't add anything. If you really want to have something sugary, have something with no calories in it that tastes sugary. But the sugary drinks per se do nothing other than bad stuff.
Don't drink your calories, right?
Don't drink your calories.
It's a waste of calories.
Don't drink your calories.
Unless it has some value in it, like fruit juice or vegetable juice or something like that.
Yeah,
if it's just a sugary sweet drink, don't do it.
Don't do it. Dr. Jeffrey Lowell, that's your pager, the old school.
Time to go to work.
We'll let you go. Thanks for checking in, Dr. Jeffrey Lowell.
Okay, bye, Kelly. Bye, Brock.
You got it. Dr. Lowell via Skype here at the Big 550 KTRS. He's the best. He's a world-renowned transplant surgeon, and he joins us each and every Wednesday. Dr. Jeffrey Lowell, thank you very much. Kat Neville's going to join us. And then Christine Byers next hour as well, 8:28 here, Big 550